They want an audio test. Go ahead, John.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's that? Perfect.
We're at the Liberta. Let me try the other one. Yeah, welcome to the Liberta Sports Field. How are we sounding?
Really loud.
We have Liberta coming up against
How is that?
Liberta versus Police today. And we're in the village of Liberta,
That's good.
bringing you live coverage.
Okay, just cut it a bit.
How we sound? Sounding good? Lovely, lovely day.
I'm not touching red.
Surrounded.
You good now?
The teams are in their preparation mode.
Yeah, keep in touch.
Where handyman Mark? Oh, okay. You find your wife? Finally. I'm gonna go in the wrong place again. You need more cheese, Dad. So what one of those? Now she can fit over your craft, so really truly. Well, you can maybe walk with one, because when the sun starts to come on this side, yeah, I'll go draw. I'll put over the table. But you want me more come without long sit? You are the put man at some
Johnny wrote a long time, Johnny want to start. So Johnny always have one.
Yes, all of that technical stuff. But you can't see the glass in the you know, Quite we can see out, but close to read the small print and put on the glass.
Well,
Many
you come
glasses
to the
see
back
out.
and walk up to the challenge. So you take it down here for next week.
So we can discuss the racing that here.
I want to get for that out on cricket.
Oh Lord, but cricket,
So, you know,
there can't be no cricket without politics. You get no racing, you get. You got a thumping, that's
I
it.
don't know about camera down there. See if you have this one a long time.
What's that?
If you have this one a long time.
I'll tell you what, Tony.
Eh?
I'll tell you what. I don't need to do it.
Eh?
I don't need to do it now. But just ask Mark where you go, where you go.
Eh?
Where you Mark go, where you go.
Put up the camera.
For what?
Yeah, it's polish, it's a polish off with.
Tony, now come here, bullshit.
Yeah,
Come here.
let me say it's for last time, right?
Come here,
Oh,
bullshit.
fucking
Tony.
listen to me. Polish enough with on camera down there.
Tony, wait till you come here, fucking bullshit there now.
Kerry.
Say 5 years of age, maybe. I'm telling you nonsense there now.
No, let me say something again, right? Polish enough with on the camera behind there. 2 camera behind there usually. 2 of them, not 1.
Well, hey, Daddy, if man want to carry them out, man carry them out. I would not take them out.
We don't have no problem with that. No, I don't want a problem with that. If you don't want to tell now, there's a stream. That's it. The fucking stream. The park, you don't start that. You don't start that fucking stick to.
Breed controversy.
No.
Type.
No.
No.
Right.
Even
Right.
a man
Right.
controversy.
Let me say
can't
something,
say.
right? I want to say something to you, right? That camera behind the park should get fucking famous.
Which camera?
Park network, the one behind the border behind them.
What we should attack, Daddy?
The one behind the park should
Daddy,
be famous.
what we should attack?
Well,
You have a camera that nobody tell operate from. How we can that?
Okay, so
The
to-
bar tracking
yeah,
camera with
hey,
my son.
let me say
Like
something
I
to
feel
you.
like the bar tracking camera.
Kerry, when you feel something, when the park is something, tell you to do it up. I'm going to say something again. That camera make you see the Batman face, all the Batman
Hold
Batman
on,
face.
hold on.
Alright?
How long you know you? You like? You ain't little boy.
Hey, I can say
Hold
something
on a
again,
second,
right?
hold on a
When
second.
the son of Antigua.
Mark, put them up, they don't do them. They don't buy them, but then they use them.
So you
The hot trick man.
know you are the life, right? Because you're a youngster.
Correct.
You know your nickname?
Hey, Kerry, just one
You
minute.
know your nickname? Me just give you the guy on brief history. Oh, his nickname are the Ayatollah.
My way or the highway.
Eh?
My way or the highway.
Ayatollah job. Along there, you know
Hey,
what
boss.
okay. And
Hey,
our famous
what's up?
dictator?
No. Let me say something to you. Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Eh? Are you? Okay, alright, no problem. Okay, alright. Hey, knock out the mic. I'm going to say what mic come to the camera. Knock out the mic, knock out the mic.
No, what happened is, then we provide
Testing. We're live.
Mark.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to live coverage of the Sir Vivian Richards Thursday League competition. And we're coming to you live from the Liberta Sports Field. And today we're starting with the Liberta Blackhawks, and they're coming up against the police team. And so Parish League continues to bring the cricket into the community area. And so, as I said before, today we're in the Liberta Village, bringing you live coverage of the Sir Vivian Richards Thursday League competition. As well, you might not be aware, but the rules of the competition this year has slightly changed, and so now it's being played in a T20 format. And so hopefully that should bring a little more excitement, a little bit more appetite for the spectators to come out and support. So now the T20 cricket the Thursday League cricket will now be in a T20 format. So far, police have won the toss and they have elected to take first bat. And so the teams are just getting themselves prepared. The opening batsmen are there. The umpires are all in position. And so in a couple of minutes, we should be having the first ball bowled off. And so let me say good afternoon to Colin James. Colin, good afternoon. Welcome to Thursday League Cricket on the Antigua Parishleague Network.
Well, good afternoon to you, Leroy. And it's great to be here at the Ball Beef playing field in Liberta. I think it's called Barrel of Beef. I understand that this ground was, should we say, donated, handed over to the slaves when Liberta became a free community. And the estate owner told the slaves that he wanted to give them for a barrel of beef. And this called Ball Beef. So here we are with the first delivery. And it's wide up off stump and signaled wide by our female umpire, Melissa Laurie.
Laurie, yes.
And right away, the police team, who arrived a bit late for this afternoon's game, are off the mark. One without loss, a wide delivered by Nathaniel. Nathaniel goes away from the far end, and he's bowled off a no ball. And that's a front foot no ball signaled by umpire Laurie. So right away, the bowler has contravened twice. First ball, a no ball, and the second delivery, no ball, although the batsman was bowled. Is that Yannick Watley, the opening bowler for Liberta? Yannick Watley, the left-arm pacer for Liberta. Or is it Spencer? Javier Spencer. Javier Spencer, the left-arm Antigua fast bowler, once was selected with the Guyana Harpy Eagles for the Caribbean Premier League, was part of that squad. Not certain if he played any games with the Harpy Eagles, but he was there in that CPL setup for the Harpy Eagles over in Guyana for a while. So let's see if he gets the legitimate delivery after this third attempt. And this delivery hit high and hard down the ground. This will go for 4 easy runs for the opening batsman for police. Lawrence, the batsman for police, just waiting on that delivery. It was in his slot, and he just went high and hard straight over the borders there, down the ground for 4 good-looking runs there. So police now move on to 6 without loss. Leroy, a lot of activity so far in the first 3 deliveries, but we'll get your comments after this one because Yannick Watley goes in again to Lawrence, and this one is down the leg side. That one will be called a wild, and it's signaled wide by umpire Laurie. So Spencer. Yes. Javier Spencer, the opening bowler for Liberta, and the ball going down the onside and wide signal. So 2 wides, a no ball, and a 4.
Seems to be probably just trying a bit too hard. Maybe he just needs to relax a bit, spraying it a little bit wide on either side of the aisle.
Spencer again, and this one is tucked away around the corner. Will bring a very slow moving Wilden Cornwall into motion. And when you say motion, you must say that it was an exaggerated motion there by Wilden Cornwall. Wouldn't say slow motion, but he's not the quickest and maybe the fittest in the field. And turned around the corner wisely there by the batsman, and getting 2 runs. So Police move on to, by my reckoning, 9 without loss of 3 legitimate deliveries.
Yes, so far, good start for the Police team. 9 runs so far, over not completed yet.
Another delivery from Spencer. This one just wide of off stump, and the batsman in Lawrence going for somewhat of an elaborate drive, but getting it off the inner portion of the bat and going not to the offside he was looking for, but into the onside. Karima Gore was the fielder in the mid-wicket region, and no run resulting. Spencer again passes umpire Laurie, and this delivery, a better delivery, keep it a bit low as well, and hustling onto the batsman somewhat, and he had to check the shot he initially attempted to play and then playing defensively into the offside, and no run resulting.
Colin, Police would want to take some advantage thus far in this early part of the game. As you would notice, there's absolutely no one outside of the circle. Everyone is camped inside the circle. So Police would want to take some level of advantage here, trying to get the ball over the top.
His delivery, he's driving past the extra cover fielder for 4 runs. That looks to be Avia Christian, who really didn't make a gallant effort to stop that ball from going past him. And as it went past him, there was no one there to cover for him, and it went for 4. Was that another no ball signal by the umpire? A front foot no ball again. So that's a free hit for the batsman. And Spencer guilty of overstepping twice now in this over. And
well, obviously he's struggling with his run-up thus far.
Spencer again. And Lawrence is getting a wide delivery, signal wide again by the umpire. And I don't know if Spencer is caught between having played in maybe the Coconut Smooth T20 and then coming back to playing the ABCA to the competition for the past 2 weeks and just not getting his line and length or his bearings together.
Yeah, you know, that's a challenge. You know, you hear some of the cricketers speak about having to play the different competitions in between each other, and sometimes it does affect their level of concentration.
Spence again, and Lawrence is driving this one. He might be caught, but it will drop safely between the 2 fielders, the fielder at point and the one at gully or first slip. And 2 runs for the batsman, and the score moves on to 17.
Wow.
17 already, and this is a T20 game, so this is good scoring by the Police team.
If you do
aided and abetted by some loose and ill-disciplined bowling by Javier Spencer for the PIC Liberta Blackhawks team.
Colin, if you do some projections at that scoring rate, you have 340 runs on the board in this 20-over competition.
And this delivery is much better lined, and the batsman is coming on it in Lawrence. So Lawrence was able to face all 12 deliveries in this over, 6 legitimate balls and 6 illegitimate balls.
He faced 2 overs in one, Colin.
And score remain on 17. So just some housekeeping matters. Police are winning the toss and electing to bat. It's the first of a new round of matches in the Antigua Commercial ACB Caribbean Survivor in which it's Thursday League. Matches now being played over 20 overs instead of the customary 30. And I think this is the first time in 41 years since the Thursday League started that the format has changed. Leroy?
Well, I would assume so from my ever following the Thursday League. Always been a 30 over. And so I guess it's a new initiative. We must be realistic. The T20 competition, that is the one that's taken over. But there's a new bowler now coming from the pavilion end.
And this one is clearly going down the leg side. And Nathaniel, a tall, well-built off-spin bowler, shouting, bellowing an appeal at umpire Oliver Benjamin. But that one was clearly going down leg side.
Malik Gerald.
So Gerald
gets a full
is
toss.
the batsman. That's a full toss. Swung away and will to go into the wideish mid-wicket boundary for 4. 4 good-looking runs there from Gerald. Probably taking his form from the Police T20 tournament over in Barbados into this ACB Caribbean which is Thursday League tournament. 4 good-looking runs for him. And as we know, Gerald is a no-nonsense batsman. The last time I saw him play was in the finals against All Saints last year in the Thursday League, and I think he was the man of the match and really helped Police to victory.
Yeah, I think he has a license, so he just goes out there and he just tries to get the scoring going.
better delivery from Nathaniel, beating the batsman outside of off stump and just pulling down the seam a bit. One would wonder why a tall bowler like Nathaniel is not a fast bowler. This delivery from him is driven hard, but not getting the power nor the placement that Gerald was looking, and bringing Kareem Magore to his right. Kareem Magore filling in that extra cover region as Nathaniel again. Number 17 on his jersey, and this delivery is wide of off stump and maybe just spinning away from the batsman. Would you say that was the arm ball a while ago?
It could have been, but I noticed also that Gerald pulled away from the shot, so he really didn't get in line to play that shot effectively.
Nathaniel again, and this delivery is
driven
driven powerfully back past the bowler for 4. That was a shot of authority there by Malik Gerald, just standing and hitting it back past the border down the onside. 4 runs for him, and 2 fours in the over. He moves on to 8 and the score up to 27 without loss.
Yeah, well, so far this has been a very positive start by the police team. Yes, as you said earlier, they have been aided with some relatively slack bowling from the opening bowlers for the Blackhawks, and so police, they would want to continue with this momentum, whereas the Blackhawks, they are searching for a wicket, and it looks like they're going to have, is it a change of bowler?
Yes.
It looks like a change of bowler. So definitely Liberta is going to be trying to see if they could peg back this attack, and we just try to get you the name of that bowler that's coming in, number 11 it looks like, for the Liberta team.
There's not too much margin for error in T20 cricket. You only have 4 overs, and if your first one goes for 17 runs, you don't expect to get a second one very quickly. So the first delivery again from another left arm seam bowler for Liberta. This one going wide of the off stump, and a wide signal by umpire Melissa Laurie.
Yeah.
Score moves on to 28 without loss, and this time the delivery short and pulled away in the air. Will not go too close to the boundary, but nevertheless the batsmen will try to get 3 runs. They are going for the third one. They a chance of a run out, and well run by the 2 batsmen in Gerald and Lawrence. 3 welcome runs for the police total, and they move on to 31 without loss. We're in the 3rd over of this T20 game in the ACB Caribbean Bridges Thursday League match here at Ball Beef, Liberta, just next to the Liberta Primary School and the Kennedy Sports Complex.
That was good running there between the batsmen there. I think Gerald quickly recognized that there was an opportunity for a third, so he ran hard. He knew he was running to the danger end, and in doing that, he was able to comfortably get in.
Gerald faced his first delivery from the new bowler, and he's heaving this one over the head of the point fielder for 4. Didn't even look to run a single, just walked down the pitch to be congratulated by his teammate in Lawrence, and 4 runs for Malik Gerald. He moves on to 12, and all 12 runs have come from boundaries, Leroy.
Yeah, well, as I said, the police team, they must take advantage of this situation. Liberta only has, it looks like, about 9 players, so they don't have anyone outside of the circle, and so the police team would have to go hard in these opening overs, taking advantage of
delivery
this.
Wide of off stump and signaled wide again by the umpire, so very disciplined bowling by the Liberta bowlers from the Spencer supermarket end. Can we call it that?
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's some challenge from that end, because this is now the second bowler, albeit they're all left-handers, but they seem to be really spraying the ball all around. So I don't know if there's a little challenge with the run-up or just not getting it right at all.
Here he is again to Gerald, and this one is wide of off stump. Gerald let it go through to the keeper. There's a stiff breeze blowing from an easterly direction. If my my atmospheric reading of the situation is right. So if the breeze is blowing from an easterly direction, that means then that the bowlers shouldn't have too much of a difficulty in keeping the ball on line and length. If they were bowling from the opposite direction, then they would have to contend with the breeze, drifting the ball away. And this delivery is played quietly into the offside by Gerald, and he placed it into the gap, and single for him. He moves on to 13. The score up to 37 without loss. And this is over number 3.
Over number 3. You see, that's good batting because they also have to keep the strike turning over when the boundary balls are not there.
Delivery
wide
wide off stump again and signal wide by the umpire. They're not going to get away with those deliveries bowling, slanting away from the batsman wide of off stump because this is a T20 game and the margin for error is just that steep that the umpire is always going to rule in favor of the ball being called a wide. So they must keep it within that within that channel or corridor. And this delivery is wide of off stump again. There's a shout for caught at the wicket. The umpire signals wide again. This is the fourth wide of the over.
I think one of the things that's playing on the Blackhawks' mind is they know that they do not have any protection outside of the circle, and so they do not want to bowl, if you want to say, too close to the batsman so that they could easily maneuver that ball. So they're trying to keep it a bit wide and have the batsman reach for it, and hopefully, they could probably sneak an edge or something like that, but just not getting it right, and the umpire is very consistent with their call-in thus far.
This is Lawrence just getting on top of this delivery and playing it back down the offside. And no run resulting. Score remains on 38 without loss. This is the third over. Police, the defending champions of the ACB Caribbean Vivian Richards Thursday League contest. And this delivery is driven hard. Well, attempted to get power onto that one, but there was no timing, no placement, and no run resulting. At the end of the third over, Police winning the toss and electing to bat. There are 39 without loss after 3 overs. We are saying that we should maybe call it the Spencer Supermarket then, but the Liberta Police Station is very close by. And if the police officers here do not perform to expectation,
we take them over.
Do you think their colleagues will come for them?
Well, so far, I'm sure their colleagues will be pretty happy, pretty impressed with this performance thus far. 39 runs from 3 overs, just about 13 runs and over. Solid start, and if they could maintain that, I'm sure they'll look to score well in excess of 200 runs. Well, Liberta is not afraid. They're pulling out all the stops, and now they've gone to a real veteran in Willow Polo Cornwall, and so they're hoping that he could use all of his guile and experience to etch a wicket out for them. They're so confident now, they have even added an extra man on the offside, so it's obvious that he'll be concentrating on an off stump just outside the off stump line.
So here's Wilden Cornwall, a veteran of Antigua Leeward Islands cricket, and this one is going down the onside. Might have brushed the pad. Let's wait for the signal from umpire Oliver Benjamin. He's going to signal leg by. So 1 run to the total, takes it up to 40. Cornwall bellowing an appeal at the umpire, but that one was clearly going down the onside. So Wilden Cornwall, who is the assistant coach of the Liberta Blackhawks, has to get out there on the field because there are only 9 players who have started for Liberta.
But, Colin, I believe that appeal was in somehow to distract the batsmen also from them not looking for that single, because I think
Cornwall clearly knew that it was going down leg side, and he's using some by-play.
Yeah, exactly.
Some well-honed match experience to see if he could distract the batsmen. But Gerald is an experienced campaigner, and he would know that once he set off for the single, as the ball went past the keeper, the leg by would have been signaled by the umpire, and that's what happened. So Cornwall turns from the pavilion end to Lawrence, and for this delivery, Lawrence is just angling it into the offside and brings in the cover fielder, or extra cover fielder in Avia Christian. Kofi James, who would normally play for the Liberta Blackhawks, he's actually over in Anguilla. Sorry, Dominica
playing
in the T20 tournament here, along with Wilden Cornwall. So had Kofi James and Wilden and Raheem Cornwall been available, Liberta would have their full complement of 11 players. The delivery is driven powerfully to the wide-ish mid-off fielder. No run resulting. The score remains on 40 without loss. Do you know scorer Sweeney Bruce is a former national track and field athlete? She was quite indignant that I didn't remember that. Cornwall.
That's a lovely
And this
shot,
is,
but hitting
Raheem
it straight.
Wilden Cornwall bowling, not Raheem Cornwall, and he's driven powerfully again, brings the fielder at the widest mid-off position to field. I mean, it was a good shot, it had power, but no placement.
No placement, yes.
So there's
yes,
no
yes.
value in that shot.
There's a shot for the cameras, but no value, as you said. in
And
that.
we have at least 2 of them here. And we're streaming live on the ACB Caribbean Parish League Facebook page and also on the national station ABS Radio and Television. We'd like to say good afternoon to Taddy Arundel and Mark Charles, and this delivery again going down leg side, and again the experience of the wildly Wilden Polo Cornwall coming into play there, shouting for the leg before decision, not getting it, but staring down the umpire as if to say, umpire, how could you not give that decision? But clearly the ball was going down the onside, but Cornwall just trying, Wilden Cornwall, we must point out, trying to keep the umpire under maybe a little bit of pressure, and the batsmen too keeping them guessing.
Well,
to
that was a good comeback over there for the Liberta Blackhawks. Only 3 runs coming out of it. I think Polo was a bit fortunate, though. He bowled a couple of balls down the leg side, which the batsmen missed out on. But a good drawback there for the Liberta team there. Nicely punched there by Gerald into the extra cover region, and so they're able to get a single there. So, as I said, a good comeback. So Liberta would want to build on that over just bowled by Wilden Cornwall, having put a little brakes on the scoring. And so let's see how Police will take to this over here.
Delivery is on the off stump and driven powerfully by Lawrence, almost decapitating his teammate at the non-strikers and in Gerald. Gerald had to take evasive action, and quickly so too, to get out of that way, because that was a full-blooded drive by Lawrence, getting himself 2 runs and taking the score up to
42.
43 without
43.
loss, and this is the 5th over
Yeah.
of the innings. 5 of 20, 50 after this one. 15 more to go. Delivery again is driven and again powerfully by the batsman in Lawrence, but straight to the fielder. He seems to have a potential.
What you could see, though,
fielder in the wideish mid-off position, rather than placing it between Avia Christian at extra cover and the fielder in the wideish mid-off position.
I think he's more looking for power than placement, and he'll be a bit advised to, if he can't get the boundaries, at least get some single. This one is driven and into the gap, but this will not go nowhere near to the boundary, but they're able to get 2 runs quite easily. Yeah, I think what he needs to do is maybe just not look for so much power, trying to get a little more timing and a little more placement, and that would really help to keep the scoring rate going.
Well, they're scoring at a clip. But if the batsman Lawrence can, although he's scored the bulk of the runs so far, the bulk of the 47 runs so far, if he can maybe get the scoring rate ticking over a little bit more, rather than concentrating on hitting boundaries, Police will be scoring even at a faster rate. And a ball going past the outside edge of the bat and pass and through the legs of the wicketkeeper and retrieve by Kareem Gore. But nonetheless, the batsman went through for a quickly taken bye.
No, the scorer, the
comes
Police team will take anything, any runs, anyhow. So leg buys, they're going to take it.
And here is Gerald driving high and hard over the mid-off
boundary
and down to the boundary for 6. 6 runs now signaled by umpire Melissa Laurie. And that's the first 6 of the innings. Gerald moves on to 23. Gerald moves on to 23, and the score moves on to 52 without loss.
Well, Colin, 52 from the first 5 overs. I think Police would take that any day. If you told them that would be where they would be at 5 overs, 52 runs, 10 points 2 runs or so per over, 10.4 runs per over, not losing a wicket. I don't think they could have asked for anything better. Liberta, on the other hand, they're going to try. They will have to try. They've tried to change around their bowling to see if they could slow down the scoring rate. And so far, not too successful with it. I think they know they need to get some wickets, and wickets normally bring a little slowing down in the scoring rate. So as we said, we're coming to you live on the Antigua Parishleague Network, and so we're right here at Ball Beef.
Full delivery there by Weldon Cornwall. Lawrence trying to turn it into the onside, the ball taking the leading edge, and bisecting the 2 fielders in the offside for Liberta, and 2 runs resulting there for a single, resulting for Lawrence. The total moves on to 43. And we're
53.
53 the total is, and we're into the 6th over. The second being bowled by Weldon Cornwall from the pavilion, and this one delivery from him is driven powerfully. The fielder misfields badly, and when a run was not on, a easy single was given up.
Yeah, the coach for Liberta, I'm sure he would be probably scratching his head a bit. The fielding thus far has not been very fluent. There have been quite a few balls that have gone through fieldsmen on either side, and so that is something they would want to work on going forward into this game.
Here is Cornwall again, Weldon Cornwall to Lawrence, and Lawrence is driving. There was a change in the field. Avia Christian, who was in that orthodox extra cover region, has come into a short extra cover, just maybe about 20-25 yards in front of the batsman. Cornwall might be working to a plan here. Here is Weldon Cornwall to Lawrence, and Lawrence is playing defensively. And Lawrence, I think, has read what's up Cornwall's sleeve. I think he's enticing him to drive on the up, and Lawrence is saying, let me play it quietly into the offside.
I think it's a good move by the Liberta team. Blackhawks, they would have recognized that a couple of the drives have gone pretty aerial, and so they've put a man in a short catching position. And so if the batsman can't control it, it will present an opportunity to them. And as you said, the batsman also recognizing the ploy, he has now sort of changed his tactics and sort of going a little bit more in his shell, being a little bit more defensive. And so this is working to some advantage for Liberta. This will help to keep the scoring rate down, and this is the last over of the power play. So I think after this, they'll be able to have a couple of men push back a bit on the boundary rope.
So after 6 overs, the first power play would have ended as Cornwall with about one delivery remaining in the second over, and this one is beating the batsman outside of the off stump. He attempted to maybe play a steering shot into the offside, but just pulled away at the last moment as he realized that he was going to be beaten, and rather than be beaten and getting an edge to the wicketkeeper, he pulled away in Lawrence, and the ball going through the wicketkeeper, and the score
54
remains on 54
without loss
at the end of the 6th over.
So just exactly 9 runs and over. Still a good start. The scoring rate is slowly coming down. Remember, it was at 13, it's come down to 10, and now it's down to 9. So Liberta would feel as if they're getting a little bit more handle on the game. Still a very healthy scoring rate for the police team. And so there's going to be a new bowler again. So Liberta is not afraid to bring in the changes. And now you could see that the field is spreading wide and far. And so we have a man on the long off, long on boundary, a man on the square leg boundary. And so there will be a little bit more gaps in the field now. So the singles could be more readily available if the police team decides to go that way. Or let's see if they will want to continue on an aggressive motion, having 54 runs in the bag from the first 6 overs. So the new bowler, that looks like
Kurimago, is it?
Weldon
So
Cornwall
it's Weldon
Jr.
Cornwall Jr.
One kept
The
a bit
son,
low.
no doubt, of Weldon Cornwall Sr. So this delivery is hustling onto the batsman. Is it an off spinner or
So father and son bowling in tandem.
left arm spinner, orthodox? And this delivery, Gerald is trying to heave it away using the long handle, but losing his bat in the process as well.
That's not the first time I've seen that happen with Malik. He swings very hard, and so sometimes he loses the grip of that bat, and luckily no one is close by to feel that effect. But if you notice, Colin, something that is very unique so far, all the bowlers bowling from the police station end are all left-handers. Two
Yes,
fast bowlers and now
and now
a spin bowler.
yeah, an orthodox left-arm spinner. Weldon Cornwall Jr. Following his father's footsteps into cricket, but I think he's more known as a footballer. Has represented the national under 17 team at the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying level last year. And I think he was one of the standout players for the Garden Stars team that earned promotion to the Premier Division,
Premier Division, okay,
just about a month or so ago. So let's look at it as his fifth delivery. And this one is choking the batsman to some extent, and maybe not the right approach or technique being employed by Gerald.
Well, something's going to give. Gerald generally doesn't like to be bogged down. He likes to keep it going, and so he's going to be...
And he's putting this one away, getting on top of it. A short delivery, keeping somewhat low as well. And he was onto it, and that's tugging it down to the wideish mid-wicket boundary for a single. And that takes the score up to 55. And the scoring rate has dropped considerably, Leroy.
Yeah, 55 from...
without loss after
7 overs.
7 overs.
Yeah, so we are just a little bit below 8 runs and over. So definitely, while Police has not lost a wicket, the scoring rate is going down. I don't think Police will be too concerned. They definitely are creating a platform so they could have a launching pad in the latter overs. So once they could... I think what these batsmen need to concentrate now is just rotating the strike. Keep the singles where the twos, they can get them. The boundaries may not be there as much. The field is spread a little bit now, so there's a little more protection. So I think if they play with a little bit more head, a little bit more common sense, they could keep the scoring rate ticking over. And then when it boils down now to the happy hour, as some would call it, then they have quite a lot of wickets in hand and they could really launch a serious attack. But let's see how it's going. It looks like... is it Aman Nathaniel continuing again?
Yes.
So another change again. So Cornwall would have bowled 2 overs, if I'm not mistaken. And so they've changed quite quickly. And Nathaniel is back from the pavilion end.
So Nathaniel, who maybe disregarded the advice of his coaches at youth level to be a fast bowler, and decided fast bowling was too arduous for him, and he will bowl off spin. And this delivery is wide of, full and wide of off stump, striking the wicketkeeper on the pads or on his boot, and going away for 2 byes, signal now by umpire Benjamin, Oliver Benjamin. So Nathaniel, who was actually born in Barbados and
yes.
I think did his secondary and primary schooling in Barbados, coming to Antigua when he was late teens or early 20s, and another delivery from him, and he's just played into the onside. Avia Christian, who was once touted as a future of Antiguan football and Antiguan cricket, has just gone off the boil a bit, I must say, in the last 2 years. And he was able to retrieve a single nonetheless as Lawrence comes into strike and his delivery.
Colin, what causes this is the sort of theme we hear with a lot of our youngsters. They show this promise, young teenagers, early 20s, and then in another couple of years we just don't see them on the radar anymore.
Well, it will take me maybe a book or two with all the research that would have to go into it to answer your question. But the short order is that probably because we don't see sport in Antigua as a professional stint, that we don't devote ourselves to it as we should. In other words, we don't see a future that we can earn a living from it. And because of that, maybe when the going get tough, we decide to,
well, Colin, I'm going to comment to you a little
to Lawrence.
Lawrence, yeah.
We get your response to my
yeah, I'm going to comment you. I'm going to comment you a little hard. Yeah,
I'm taking my notes. You want me to give a dissertation on radio, but nonetheless, this delivery is wide of the leg stump, hitting the batsman as he attempted to flick it away. No run resulting. At the end of the 8th over, it is 59 without loss. 59
without loss. So just we're gone down now, just a little above 7 runs and over. So the run rate is steadily declining. So Liberta would be happy with that. They would love to add a wicket with that. Police, I think, as I said, they're still comfortable. They haven't lost a wicket. And again, if the batsmen play a little bit more sensible, they could get a couple of singles and twos and the odd boundary. They could keep that scoring rate going for a bit.
Here is Wilden Cornwall Jr. For his second over from the Liberta Police Station end, and this delivery is taking the inner portion of the bat and going between the batsman and the stumps and down to the vacant fine leg or fine leg position for 2 runs. As we would have to indicate to our listeners and our viewers, Liberta fielded with 9 players, so there are lots of gaps and vacant positions in the field. An attempted sweep by Lawrence, and maybe coming off the pad, as we see the umpire now indicating it's a leg by. So Lawrence should be somewhere close to his 40s.
The bowler would feel very relieved there. That was a ball if the batsman was only able to get a little bat onto it. There's a lot of vacant real estate in the backward square leg, fine leg area, and that could have been a couple of runs there.
Wilden Cornwall Jr., and this delivery is played into the onside in the air, but away from the bowler's father in Wilden Cornwall Sr., and a run for Gerald, taking the score up to 63 without loss. We have to point out that Wilden Cornwall Jr. and Wilden Cornwall Sr. are actually on the field playing at the same time. So that's why we're emphasizing the names. And if we say Cornwall, you might ask us if it's not Raheem Cornwall, and then you might ask us if it's not Wilden Cornwall, and then we have to say senior or junior.
And they were actually playing in tandem. They were bowling in tandem at one point. This one is nicely chipped, but again, not finding the gap. Oh, and that's a awful throwback there by Wilden Cornwall Senior. Now, here's how does Wilden Cornwall Jr. react to that? What does he say? Dad, what are you doing there?
He certainly can't demonstrate.
All right, I'm going to just ease out a bit after this over. And
of his supper later this evening. But 2 overthrows, so 3 runs, nonetheless, for the police total.
I think it's 2.
It's getting close to that 70 mark. Oh, he's
bowled him.
And this is Lawrence trying to ill-advisedly drive in with his head in the air and not getting near the delivery and exposing all 3 stumps and being bowled by Wilden Cornwall Jr. to end his innings. So Lawrence coming back to the pavilion. He goes bowl Wilden Cornwall Jr. for
Wilden Cornwall. How much did Lawrence score?
27.
27.
The score is 65 for 1, and this is over number 9.
Well, Colin, that was on the cards for the last 3 overs or so. We saw that Liberta was able to put a stranglehold on the batsmen, and so we know that something had to give, as you know, they would want to continue scoring. And so real kudos to the Liberta team for really making that breakthrough, and so they would want to take another wicket here or there to try and keep the pressure on the police team, while I guess police would want to regroup quickly and start to accelerate again. But I'm going to take a little break, and I'm going to bring our fella 10.
Yeah. No, John, we're into the 9th over, so we have to do the first 10, and then our relief commentators do the next 10.
All right, no problem. We got the legend, Van Roy Burns. I see you there. Good afternoon, Mr. Van Roy Burns. Well, Colin, let's say good afternoon to all of our viewers again on ABS TV, our Antigua Parishleague network, our YouTube, Facebook page. Indeed, a pleasure to bring you one of the first game in the Sir Viv Richards Thursday League competition, ACB Caribbean Sir Viv Richards Thursday League competition. And so we're here from, what you call it, barrel of beef. That's what you told me?
Yes, I prefer barrel of beef.
Barrel of beef?
Instead of ball beef.
Some of us do say the
I
ball
like the
beef.
traditional names.
I think we have games also playing at Rising Sun and also at Pickett's. I'm sure if our technician Mark Charles can get us some scoring updates from these field. And as we said earlier, the competition has slightly changed. We're now playing 20 overs in the Sir Viv Richards. That one is short and pulled away with majestic power there by, who's that batsman there?
That's
Gerald. Just behind square there, and 4 lovely runs. So not a good delivery there by Nathaniel, just taking a wicket. You'd want to keep the pressure. That was a short ball, and
So Gerald, motor in a way, he's on to Gerald, 41, 31. Here is Nathaniel to Gerald, and Gerald is driving, brings the fielder in Curry McGour. No, not Curry McGour. A single. That's Spencer, Javier Spencer, the son of Iper Spencer. What if Iper Spencer went down to St. Kitts with the Masters
team,
last weekend?
I didn't get much report. How did that tour go? I didn't really hear
Antigua
much.
losing the final by 8 wickets. Couldn't even muster 120 runs when they batted first, and St. Kitts knocked off the runs with almost 9 wickets. But
Well, the St. Kitts team, did they wet up the pitch?
Mark Shane Jeffers, he was the man of the match, the former Leeward Islands batsman. Single to the new batsman in Miller, Matthew Miller, and here's a chance for a run out. Did he make
appeal
it?
and the
umpire is on move
umpires.
at the square leg position, and Matthew Miller, one of the young and up and coming players, Jennings player as well, Antigua Grammar School, so he was able to make his ground. So a single. So the other matches are Rising Sun Spartan against Mahai Court Rising Sun, and Pickett Squashers against All Saints Pythons at Pickett. So those are the 2 matches. 6 teams competing in this year's Thursday League. Now here is Weldon Cornwall Senior turning back the hand of time and diving full stretch to his right goalkeeper fashion
Colin.
in his attempt to prevent a single. But nonetheless, because he diverted the ball about 10 yards away from him, the batsman were able to come through for the single.
This is taking advantage of the senior.
So this is the youngster recognizing that his senior is not as mobile and agile as he should be.
Most definitely.
Nathaniel to Gerald, and Gerald is coming forward, playing quietly back down the track to the border. That ends the 10th over. After 10 overs, and Police winning the toss and batting first in this ACB Caribbean Sir Vivian Richards Thursday League fixture. 20 overs a side game, so it's a T20 tournament these days. They are Police. Police are we're trying to get the score from our scorers. 73 for 1 at the end of the 10th over. And as I make my departure and recognize the presence of Taddy Arundel, who is here all along, I say good afternoon to the erstwhile and ever dependable, ever capable Van Roy Burns and Hillary Crife Nathaniel. Delivery is driven down the offside, a single, as the bowler in Kareem Gore, left arm spinner again to Gerald. Gerald is facing him for the first time in the game in this match. The ball going past the keeper, and 2 runs, no signal from the umpire, and the score moves on to 77. Is it? 76 for 1. As I say, good afternoon to you, Van Roy.
Good afternoon.
I'll keep your company until we are able to relocate Crife.
Good afternoon, Colin James, and of course, this is the ball that went to Gerald, who passed on the onside, and the ball won't go for a single. So that is about what?
77
for 1.
So here is
77 for 1.
To
here's the next one.
Miller.
And Miller plays that one on the onside, and again a next single for Miller. Kareem Gore as left arm over, ball to Malik. He is in to ball to Malik, and Malik is playing that in the onside, looking for next single again. Single for Malik, and of course the game is now 78 or 79. Here is balls to Miller, and his Miller is showing on the onside, looking for a single, but no, it's stopped by the fieldman there. So at the end of number
over number 11.
Number 11.
It's 79.
Number 11.
79
for 1.
But I think if the batsmen were conscious of the fact that it was Xavier Christian who was going to field, they would have taken that single because Christian is not the, and I've said it umpteen time already for the afternoon, he's not the most agile along with Wilden Cornwall Senior in the field, so they could have chanced themselves with a single there.
Yeah. So that's and okay, that is the next over. The next over is who now?
This is over number 12 and Amal Nathaniel.
Amal Nathaniel. Nathaniel. Yeah, Nathaniel. It's one ball, so
single was taken for Gerald.
Yeah.
Getting a single.
He is now into ball to Malik. And he's driving on the onside. He's going for one, looking for two. They come for third. No, I think he's looking for two, but they got two, so it's about 2 more for.
A little bit of a misfield there by Javier Spencer, allowing the batsman to come back for the second one easily.
Yes, so
it's going to the 80s,
here
81.
Is Nathaniel, and that seems like in the air, but it's just about in the.
Well, it was struck in the air into the vacant gap between mid-wicket and the long leg fielder.
Long leg, yes. Here is Nathaniel into ball to Malik. And Malik is driving, but no runs.
Nathaniel has bowled pretty tidily in the circumstances, but still guilty of giving away the odd single or twos.
And he's driving again, but this time to the long on where the fieldman field just on the boundaries, just one single. So that's about 80 what?
85.
85 for the loss of 1. Here's Nathaniel bowl too. And that's next good over from Malik. And of course that is 85 for 1 in the 12 over.
So this would be over number 12.
Number 12.
Bowl. Spencer had started for the Liberta Blackhawks from the Liberta police station end. He conceded 27 runs in his first over.
Wow.
He bowled at least 3 no balls and 4 wides.
Woo, that's a good one. So that is and that is
the police batsmen took full advantage.
Okay, so there is again Go coming to bowl to Malik.
Yes, Malik
Gerald. As here is Go now into bowl to Gerald, and the Gerald is hitting that one back past the bowler down to the long out division where the fielder fields, and there's a single.
Nathaniel the fielder, ball played in the air but safely away.
That is now 83, 82.
When I saw Miller, the father of Matthew Miller, at the grounds this afternoon, he should have alerted me that someone of his children would have been playing.
Well, he didn't know that.
It didn't dawn to me until now. And Daisy sitting in the lone, one of the bleachers.
And here is and that is hitting that in the 4-1. So for Miller.
Yes, that was a good shot.
A good shot by Miller, and let's go right through.
Steering it
boundary
through
for 4. So that is about what, 86 for
I think we're into the 90s by now.
86?
89.
89
for 1.
89 for 1.
This is the 13th over.
13th over. Here is Go to bowl to Miller. And Miller again is driving for next single on the onside.
Should point out that Miller is the captain, or was the captain of the Leeward Islands on the 15th team.
Okay, that is so good.
In the CWI Rising Stars tournament in Antigua over the Easter weekend.
Okay, that is so good. Here is go to Malik, but one straight to the field man, no runs. 89 for a loss of 1. Here is Gore into ball to Malik. On the onside again. Next one's here for Malik. That goes on to 90. 90 for the loss of 1. 90 for the loss of 1. As it's number 13. That's over number 13.
Yes.
Number 13.
Good sensible batting by young Matthew Miller. He has a good cricket head on him. And with the guidance of his father and mother as well, because his mother is also the secretary of the Antigua
Cricket Association. Yeah,
so
that is so true.
Coming from a cricket family, he has an older brother, Cameron Miller, who made the Antigua and Leeward Islands on the 15 and on the 19 teams. I think Matthew now is studying in Barbados at the UWI facility, our campus.
Here is Nathaniel, and that one is hitting on the onside. There's 1 for 2 coming back for the 3s. No, I think they're looking for just 2 runs. 2 runs for.
That was played well by Malik Gerald there. He just basically opened the face of the bat and steering it past the wicketkeeper and the vacant Step Cordon for 2 good-looking runs. And it was a risky shot, but well in control.
That 93. Here is
Christian. Avia Christian is the bowler from the pavilion end.
Christian.
And this is tickled away again. Identical shot to the previous one, and the same result. 2 runs to Gerald.
Runs again.
Gerald must be approaching his half century. He's on to 45.
45.
I wonder sometimes, Burns, if these police officers who like to help reproduce do not get their children involved in the game as
95.
As my good friend to my right, Shadrach. Yes, his son is a father and son combination.
Hard and high, but it's on down to the long fieldsman for our next run. So that's 96. 96 for 1.
And he moves on to 46.
46 for Miller.
No, Gerald.
For Gerald, 46 for Gerald.
Yeah,
sorry.
Gerald opened the batting with Lawrence. Lawrence getting 27. Oh!
And that
poor shot there from Matthew Miller.
Shot by
backing away
Miller,
from the stumps and trying to play a forcing shot,
yeah,
when he could have just come to the pitch of the delivery and played into the onside, into the gap and get an easy single.
Yes,
now he's going back to the pavilion very disappointingly.
Very poor shot by Miller, and he lost his wicket in that sense. So they are now 96 for the loss of 2. 96.
Yes, Miller goes for
96. 96 for the loss of
and
2. And Miller goes for
12.
12. Miller for 12.
So Matthew Miller, who I was complimenting for, showing a good cricketing brain, really didn't exhibit my admonition of him a while ago. Needlessly backing away from the stump to play a delivery that was dead on target, and he missed it completely, and he was bowled
that was a poor shot,
Colin.
That was a poor shot
by Avia Christian.
Yes.
And out goes
that
Neville
is
Nichols
to
replace him.
Nichols.
Neville Nichols.
Oh, Nichols. Okay, Nichols. Yeah.
Yes. So it is 96 for
2.
For 2.
96 for 2.
Yes. So Miller being bowled for
12. Malik is still on 45. Malik still on 45.
Should point out that Miller was bowled by Avia Christian. I was giving him some sticks in the field, so I have to pick him up.
I like
now that he has taken a wicket. So the fall of wickets was 1 for. The first wicket fell at.
Here is Avia Christian now to bowl to Nichols.
So it's 96 for 2.
Yeah, to bowl to Nichols.
At 96.
96 for 2. Here is Christian. Here is Avia Christian now to bowl to Nichols. Just waiting for the umpire to give his blessings.
And Nichols is batting with a fiery red.
He is. And he's coming forward, Well, forward, looking for a batsman of class.
And
Batsman of
his pads are red as well.
Yeah?
His pads are red.
Oh, yeah, good. That is so true. Here is Nicholas. Here is into ball to Nicholas. And they're looking for an appeal there, but umpire says not out. And
That was
so,
clearly going down the
and so
onside.
that
Struck
ends
outside
that.
the line of the leg
That
stump
is
as
in the
well.
14th over, 96 for 2. And of course, police might want to. So you have 6 overs to go. 6 overs to go.
I have to compliment Avia Christian for that over.
Mm-hmm.
That over conceded 4 runs
4 runs.
and a wicket. So
Four.
it was good effort there by Avia Christian and coming in with the ball after a very indifferent display in the field and really showing that he can bowl a decent over and did so.
Yeah,
And
but he used to
we
be a
were
good
saying
bowler
that,
before time, you know. He used to
he
be a
was
good
one
bowler
of the
before time.
true all-rounders
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
through about 5 to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Also adept in terms of his football ability, but just went off the ball maybe at the wrong time.
And here is
Gerald.
go.
Well, it's
That's
Weldon Cornwall Jr. Bowling to Malik Gerald, and Gerald driving it hard down the onside, wide of Nathaniel, and a single down to wideish long leg. Wideish long on, sorry, not
Yes.
long leg.
Here is what's the name of what?
Weldon Cornwall
William
Jr.
Cornwall Jr. William Cornwall Jr. I
Weldon Cornwall
like that line.
Senior as
William
well
Cornwall
in
Jr.
the-
He is
in the
in to
field.
bowl to. It's a bowl to Nichols. Nichols, right hand batsman. Bowling to Nichols, and Nichols is playing one on the onside, but straight to the batsman.
We have to be kind about what we say about Nichols because he might meet you in traffic and penalize you for whatever misgivings he might have about our
Ball
comments.
to Nichols, and he's driving one up in the air, but this well short of the batsman, the batsman down there for a single, and so it is now is 90, 96, 97.
98.
98 for 2.
Yeah, and
98
Nichols is
for
off
2.
the mark. He's off the mark, so he's
Yes, he's off the mark.
a little bit, a little bit relieved that he
And here
did
is
make a
Gerald.
duck. And that's a
and
brilliant
was
catch there.
Brilliant catch by the fieldman there.
That's Spencer, Javier Spencer, again making up for some indifferent fielding in the field, and this time diving away to his right and plucking this one out of the air. It was a full-blooded drive by Gerald into the offside, and Spencer.
He's gone for 45,
Wideish cover region.
47.
Diving to his right and holding on to the catch
47.
to end the innings of Malik Gerald, who is back in the pavilion for
47, yes.
So
that's
another breakthrough for Liberta.
So that's
will
the
continue
end.
to put the
So that's the
break
end.
somewhat on the scoring rate for the police team. 98 for 3.
98 for 3. And of course, Gerald 47. So
he was caught. Javier Spencer of the bowling of Weldon Cornwall Senior.
Jr. Yes.
What if we had Rakim Cornwall playing as well? How often would we have to distinguish which Cornwall would have
Where's
been,
he
come into play? Had Rakim, Weldon Senior, and Weldon Junior all 3, but Rakim, thankfully, is over in Dominica playing in a T20 tournament.
And
so we only have to contend with father and son.
And also Kofi James is also
Kofi
in
James as
Dominica,
well.
yes. Yeah.
Right. Any indication, Leroy, if Liberta has gotten up to 10 players as yet, or they're still 9?
Till 9?
Still 9. So the new batsman.
Batsman is what? Who's the batsman?
Jaron Jones.
Gerald
is the new
Jones.
batsman.
Gerald Jones.
Yes. And maybe the admonition we're getting is correct, that we stick to what is reality
Gerald Jones.
than what is fiction.
Here he's come the ball to Jones, and Jones is singing that on the onside, but straight to the fieldsman. There's no runs. That is 1. Here
Not a
is
single
William
thought. That's the
Cornwall Jr.
second ball of the over.
Into bowl to
Jones.
And Jones is, and that one is one that's like he's going down to the boundary. Is one, they're coming back for the second. Will they come for a third? Will they? And they,
Well, there
they
was
wait for
absolutely no reason to
because-
attempt a third run there because
Yeah.
by the time they had completed the second run, the bowler was already onto the ball.
Yes.
And he was aiming to throw it back to the keeper.
And so that's 15 overs gone there. And there's now 100 for 3.
And this is over number
It's 15.
16.
15, right? 15, yeah, 15 over, yeah.
Well,
And so,
this being a T20 game, and after 15 overs, 100 runs, Police would need to think about getting another 50
yeah,
from the next 5 overs.
yeah, that's so
If
true.
they're going
Yeah.
to set Liberta a challenging target.
Yeah, for let's see.
You can't underestimate this Liberta batting lineup at
Let's
all.
see what happens now too. Here is there is
Avia Christian continuing from the pavilion end to
and that is
Nichols.
Nichols. Here is Gradient. And they're playing that on the onside, looking for one. Will they come for the second? Will they come for the second? Yes, they are coming for the second. And it's 2 runs there for Nichols. He's on 2. Well, he's on 2 more. So he's about what? 100 for
102.
102
for 3.
for 3. Nichols on 3. Here is Avia Christian into bowl 2. Nichols, and he's like he's going to be out. Yes, it's a very easy catch there for the fieldsman.
The wicketkeeper. Yeah, Nichols trying to turn it around the onside and just succeeded in just spooning the ball in the air. And the wicketkeeper taking an easy catch. Not a good shot there by Nichols after the previous shot from him brought him 2 nice looking runs. For whatever
now
reason,
he's out for 3. He's out for 3.
And the ball taking the leading edge into the air and the catch judged by the keeper. And a second wicket for Avia Christian.
Yeah. So he has 2. So 103
wickets for 6 runs
103 for 4.
in 2.3 balls.
Yeah, that's good. 103 for 4. As
Shadrach, is it?
just
The new batsman?
Shadrach. That's Shadrach. Junior.
That's
Shadrach Junior.
Shadrach Jr.
Junior, yeah, Shadrach Junior. Shadrach S-H-A.
And that is Vincent Shadrach
Yeah.
Jr.
Vincent Shadrach and
Burns, you never thought about your offsprings playing together with you?
no. I
Or
never.
you started a bit too
Maybe
early?
when he came in, I was out of it. I was out of it.
So we have Vincent Shadrach Jr. who's
Vincent
going
Shadrach
into
Jr.
the bat, and we have Weldon Cornwall Senior and Junior in the field.
In
And
the
Vincent
field, that is good.
Shadrach Senior, is he playing today? Yes, he's in the team today. Vincent Shadrach Senior. So
Yes.
it's a father and son
So,
combination.
a combination, yeah. So that is
Senior is not playing? Oh, I thought his name was ticked off on the team sheet.
so that is
Might have been a late change. Did he pull up an injury in the warm-up?
Christian to bowl to Vincent Shadrach Jr. Let's see what happened here. As Christian just setting the field alike. So he's into bowl to Vincent Shadrach Jr. And the one was quick.
And beaten.
Beat out
Batsman
on
beat Lawrence up.
on the offside. Very, very good bowling by Christian. Here is now into bowl to Shadrach Jr. And that one is hitting, well, that is to Vincent Shadrach.
Well,
At
it was
his,
powerfully driven, just slightly to the left of Weldon Cornwall
Cornwall
Senior,
Senior.
but he was able to get across and feel keenly.
Yeah, here he's into bowl too. And again, Shadrach Jr. is looking for one with you. No, that's a very good ball by Shadrach. And so it's now 104. 104 for 4.
No, I was just trying to pick up the number
The-
of the Liberty keeper, and it's actually Tyreek Charles. He has the
Ta-
number 10
Talik Charles.
jersey.
Oh,
So he's
Charles.
the keeper, and
Yeah.
he was the one who took the catch to effect the dismissal
103 for 4.
of
103 for 4 as we saw that William Cornwall Jr. again comes up and bowls to Vincent Shaddock Jr. Let's see what happened now. 103 for 4. 103 for 4 as William Cornwall Jr. bowls to Vincent Shaddock Jr. and that is playing on straight back to the bowler. No runs there. Coming again to bowl to Vincent Shaddock Jr. Into bowl to Shaddock Jr. and Shaddock Jr. is hitting that one, and this one like he's out. He's out. Bowled by Vincent
Wyndon Cornwall Jr.
Cornwall Jr. So that is a good plus there for. So that is 104 for 5 now. For 5. 104 for 5.
So it's a good
104.
It's a good period of play for the Liberty team in the last 4 to 5 overs because with Police going at one point at almost 10 runs and over, and then at 7 runs and over at another stage, they're now down to at least almost a triple.
104 for 5.
104 for 5, and this is the 17th over.
17th over. 17th over.
I don't think anything below 150 is going to be a bother for the Liberty team.
17th over. Let's see
The
what
new
happens.
batsman going out.
Is Africa? Is Africa? Is Africa right? Is Africa, yeah?
Man from Africa.
Man from Africa.
Linton, Africa.
Yeah. So 104 for 5. Linton.
A veteran of the game is Linton, Africa. Has been around for a long time.
Yeah, very, very long time. Yeah.
He would need to steady here with Jones and
With
see if they
Jones,
can get
yeah.
up maybe first to 110, then 115, and
115
120,
maybe,
and,
even 120.
and eventually
120.
130 if they can get there.
So 17 overs gone right now. So here is Vincent William Cornwall Jr. to bowl to Africa. As let's see what happened here. From around the wicket this time.
The Police dressing room has gone
Into bowl
strange
to
quiet.
Africa, and Africa is making a run there for the. That's a very good, easy one there from the.
Well, it turned out to be an easy run eventually.
Because he
Van
didn't
Roy,
want
but
where to throw the
hesitation
ball.
initially
It
suggested that there might have been a chance
He
of a
don't
run
want to
out.
throw the ball at
But
all.
it
It
was
was
well
that was
judged by
his,
Africa and Jones.
Yeah, so 104 for 5. He's back around the wicket now, bowling to. He bowled to, and this one
Jones.
is again played on the onside for the bowler to field. No runs. As
Yeah, a lot is going to be dependent on Jones. For a top order batsman, he really has to get a hold of this Liberty Blackhawks bowling.
and yes, going for one. Well, they're coming for a second now. Well,
Nathaniel is the fielder.
Nathaniel in the top fielder and trying to shut the wicket down, but only one. Here is
Wilden Cornwall Jr.
William
still.
Cornwall from around the
This should
wicket.
be his fourth over.
From around the wicket.
His last over.
From around the wicket, bowls to Africa once more. From around the wicket, bowls to Africa, and Africa is looking for a single, but
That should be called a wide in my estimation.
The umpire call a wide? No.
No?
Okay.
That should have been called, it was wide and full down the onside.
Oh, so that is now 18 overs has gone. 18 overs gone now, and the score is 100 and.
It's about 109.
109, 105, 105, 105, 105 for
For 5?
For 5? For 5 or 6? For 6?
5.
5. So,
If
yeah, now the
Christian-
18th over now. The 18th over now been bowled now by, that is again
If
Christian.
Yeah.
Avia
This should
Christian.
be his 4th over as well. Christian, 3rd.
Third,
Third.
yeah. So Avia Christian to bowl to.
He has bowled 3 overs so far. 2. So this is his 3rd, yes.
Yeah, so bowl to
Jones.
Jones, and the ball outside the off stump. Well, go to the wicketkeeper, no runs. He is now into bowl to Jones again. As he into, and again that one going for one, going back for second. No, they stay on 1, and so that is 106.
Well, the single was always on.
106 for 5.
They might have been hoping that Nathaniel would have misfield.
Misfield somewhere, yes.
But Nathaniel is a competent cricketer and a safe pair of hands in the outfield. So
yes,
yeah, no chance of a second one, of him misfielding and a second one resulting. No chance of that at all.
Here is Avia Christian to bowl to Africa, left arm Africa.
Burns, if you look to the far end and over the trees, you see the roof of one of the most famous churches, not only in Antigua, but in the world. I think it's one of the oldest Anglican church you can find in the world.
Okay. And that's that is
Yes.
an out LBW according to
Plumb in front.
according to the umpire, plumb in front, and Africa has his 3rd wicket.
Leg
And his 3rd wicket.
Leg before wicket. To,
So that's
Avia Christian. That's Christian's 3rd wicket.
third wicket.
And he has made up tremendously
Tremendous
for his
for
different
what he has done.
performance in the
And
field.
as you just said, he was not so good on the field, but
With the ball in his hand.
Ball in his hand, but
Different cricket altogether.
yes.
And
So-
that one really
So
striking,
106 for
Africa
6.
plumb in front.
106 for 6.
No way he could have escaped.
Yeah, that was plumb in
the
front.
ruling,
Yeah.
The dreaded finger of umpire
Umpire.
Oliver Benjamin.
Who is it?
Oliver Benjamin.
Oliver Benjamin. Okay, Oliver Benjamin.
I think the
And
church
the
is
other
called
umpire
St.
is-
Barnabas Church.
The other umpire is what?
Melissa Laurie.
Oh, Melissa Lowry. Okay, I should know Melissa Lowry. So
Her name comes with a ring about it.
yeah,
Melissa
because
Lowry.
So
So the new batsman going in
106
is
for 6. What's his name?
Belafonte.
Delafonte.
Peter Belafonte.
Peter
No
Delafonte.
relationship to the late Harry.
Peter Delafonte.
He has Jamaican roots.
PE.
Oh, he's from Jamaica. So he may have some relationship
Okay,
to the
okay,
late
Peter
Harry,
Delafonte,
the
okay.
great late Harry
Peter
Belafonte
Delafonte, okay.
of Caribbean folklore
So
fame.
that is 106 for 6. And it looks like the umpires are falling away now.
Falling away.
Falling away.
Umpires.
They're falling away.
So you look around this playing field, ball of beef or ball beef, and it's nestled in between the tropical scenery, all lush green and trees and vegetation encircling this picturesque venue, Van Roy. And we're perched high in the pavilion. We are about 100 feet off ground.
Here is a question into bowl to Peter Delafonte, and the one hitting one on the offside down to Nathaniel, and there is only 1-1, so there's 107 for 6.
Although this game started a bit late, we have made up time considerably.
Okay.
It's just
And
about
there is,
20 to 5 in St. John's, Antigua. Coming from the parish of St. Paul's, the village of Liberta. ACB Parish League, ACB Caribbean Parish League Thursday League.
And that is
live.
19 overs gone now. So that's 19 overs gone. They're 105 or 6.
No. Should be a little bit more than that.
107. 107 for 6.
With 1 over to go?
With 1 over to go. 107 for 6.
So who will bowl the last over? Is it Kareem Gore?
Yeah. Looks like that.
Gore bowling the last over?
Gore. Yes, it look like that, yeah. Here is Gore into bowl 2. Belafonte and the ball
Yes,
in the
Belafonte.
side. No damage done. Go. His last over of the day.
Of the innings.
2 overs.
So this is the 18th over.
It's the 18th over. Sorry, the 18th over.
So we're into the 19th over.
Yeah, but I know 19. Yeah. And
No run. This is the first run coming off the over. Well bowled so far by Kariba Gore, keeping the scoring and the scoring rate down considerably. So it's a single to Belafonte. Gerald, sorry,
he's one.
is Jones, who come a lanky upright batsman, and this delivery is a full toss, playing it back straight to the bowler. And this is where the experience, the noise, and the good thing about the Liberty team comes to the fore. Whenever they're under pressure, they can always come back, and when they put you under pressure, you can't escape.
And they're looking for 2. Well, they get 2 here because
Nathaniel
misfield, and they got 2.
So
And
they were under the clutch for the first 4 or 5 overs. After that, they have just maintained a stranglehold on the police scoring rate.
And that was on Go is still looking good.
Once the spinners came on at both ends, it was a different different game altogether.
And that one was hit high and hard. Will he go to the boundary? No. No, they're coming
There's going
back
to be a
for
chance of a
second
run out. He must be run out. He's run out by a long way.
And he's out.
That was Belafonte going for an ill-advised second run. When he turned for the second run, the ball was on its way to the keeper. But again, it's the 19th over, and if you have a chance of stealing the second one, you're going to try it.
Steal it. That's what.
Although ill-advised, understandably the circumstances, but nevertheless he was run out.
So that is 100 and how much now? 112 for the loss of 7. 7. Oh, 7, yeah. 112 for loss of 7. In the 19th over. Let's see what Cornelius could do in the next maybe 2 or 3 balls. Yeah. Let's see what happened now. So 112 for the loss of 7. That is what police has mounted right now for 19.3 overs. Just see what happened to see if Cornelius can make some big.
They need some big hitting at this point.
Right now.
Of the innings.
Yes.
They're not going to get 6s and 4s. If they're not going to get 6s and 4s, 1s and 2s, just not going to keep the scoring. Take the score up to that target that will challenge the Liberty batsmen, in my estimation. So
number 4,
Javier Spencer. Jones is still there. He's known to be able to strike the ball, but the question is, can he get on top of this this all-out spin attack by the Liberty team? So they're going to introduce a little bit of seam bowling for the last over.
It
looks to be Javier Spencer who's setting the field now, who is coming to bowl. Will he bowl his seamers, or will he come off a short run and bowl some
like
slow medium pacers?
Slow medium. It looks like he's bowling slow medium. Let's see what happens. Slow medium.
So Cornelius is going to be on strike. The batsman trying to hustle non-existent second run.
So let's see what happens. Okay, he's going for his long run. He's going for his
maybe slightly short of his long run.
Yes. So
But
he is now into bowl to
Cornelius,
left-hander
to left-hander.
And just, he did not.
Well, Cornelius trying to go onto the back foot and force it away, but straight to Avia Christian at extra cover. No run resulting.
One gone in the over.
1 ball.
Here is he now into bowl to Cornelius, and Cornelius is playing that one for a single. And they're going for 2. Will he make for 2? No. He's looking for 2, but he didn't. He's looking for 2, but he didn't.
No one else saw. And Jones didn't even look at him.
Jones has been there for a little while, but he's not really um,
He has
taking.
not really dominated the ball
Yes,
by any
yeah,
stretch of the imagination, and maybe using the word domination is a far cry on my behalf because he has not even tried to get on top of the ball and much more dominate it.
that is so true. That is so true. But let's see what happened now with
It will be interesting to see how many balls Jones has faced.
he is, to both.
Well, he's facing up to Spence and they scramble a quick single, and they'll get
And
more.
they
Maybe they will get two over shy. Well, you can't say overthrow because the bowler Spence attempted to strike the non-strikers and
with his foot, but
the non-strikers then by kicking the ball onto the stumps with his right boot, but it went past the stumps and the wicketkeeper for an extra run for Jones.
now here is Jones again. Here is
Spencer.
Spencer and hit him. Get it for one day. Oh, on the
Well, had that throw from
that
Christian hit the stumps, Jones would have been run out
yes,
by a long way.
long way.
But luckily for him, the ball missed the stump. Narrowly, we should add, and a run. So police will need to score off every single delivery. So
For one.
3 more deliveries to go, 2 more
Two
deliveries,
more deliveries to go.
So they need to score off the next 2 balls. And
Oh,
this
and
one is
that
going
one
past
is
the
one just
batsman.
past the batsman. Nothing happened there. So one more delivery to go for the 20th delivery.
The score is
100 and 116. 116. Here is Spencer into bowl to.
Cornelius.
And that's running for a single, and of course the ball just in the
Well, he
hands
opened
of
the
the
face of the
batsman,
bat
and
and
so,
steered it into the wideish
at the
point
end,
region
at the end of
and getting a single.
At the
to
end
end
of
the innings, at the end of it,
117 for 7.
117 for 7.
117 for 7.
So for
117 for 7.
so of the 20 overs, police meandering after a bright start
Yeah,
to
that's
117. So the first over conceded 27 runs, Van Roy.
Oh well,
And
that's
you can say that only 80 or 90 runs were scored of the
next 19 overs. 9 overs.
Not good going at all by the
No,
policemen.
because after 20 overs the first over, that's a good start. That's a very good start, But I guess that they understand what happened, and maybe Liberty pull the plugs on them.
Definitely. As I was saying,
yeah.
Spencer bowled a very loose first over. And then the other left-arm bowler, the bowler that bowled the third over, the bowler that bowled the third over, he too was a little bit loose. Then it was Amel Nathaniel who started from the pavilion end, Wilden Cornwall Jr. from the northern end, and Wilden Cornwall Sr. from the pavilion end. They really pulled back Liberta into the game. They put the screws on the police batsmen, and then Avia Christian coming in from the pavilion end
and getting 3 wickets.
Getting three wickets and tidied up by Kruber go towards the end.
Yes.
And Javier Spencer coming back at the death and bowling a good last over. So Liberta really arresting the police batsmen after they threatened to escape. And they
117 for the loss of 7.
Runs. So, do we take a break, Mr. Producer, in Mark Charles?
Producer?
We take a break, and then when we come back, we have the start of the
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and we're back here at Barrel of Beef or Ball Beef, Liberta Sports Field, and we're here watching the Sir Vivian Richards Thursday League, and as you know, as you might be hearing in the early part of our commentary, that has now been converted into a T20 tournament. And so Police won the toss, and they took first strike, and they scored 117 in their first attempt. And so the Blackhawks, in pursuit, they will try to get 118 to claim victory. And so it looks like a promising chase. We have Wilden Cornwall and Tariq Charles who will be opening strike. Crive, what you felt about the Police innings? They had a real good start, but really couldn't sustain that momentum.
Well, good afternoon, John, and good afternoon to all the listeners and the viewers on whatever platform, whatever medium they've chosen to take in this game between Liberta and the Lawmen. Yes, you are correct, because the Lawmen got off to a blistering start, looked as if they were going to score over 200, then had a remarkable collapse to have only been able to amass 117 runs. And for me, John, this is going to be easy pickings for the men from Liberta. First ball, Cornwall hits that one over long on or wide long on for 4. First ball. Short.
And it's a no ball also, Crive. So
Wow. Injury to insult.
So, Malik Gerald. So, very unique opportunity here for Malik. He opens the batting and opens the bowling. So, real all-round cricketer. So, not a good start there. No ball. Boundary. Yeah, I see the free hit signal coming from the umpire.
I must say, John, that looking at the pitch, it is a very, very good batting wicket. And it looks as if Cornwall is going to go guns blazing. And again, I'm looking at the size of Cornwall, and for him to have been able to complete taking 2 runs, I mean, he's really turning back the hand of time.
Well, you should have seen he was on the field. I don't know if you saw him a couple of times diving and, doing some quick returns and stuff like that.
Yes,
so
yes.
I guess he's feeling rejuvenated and, fresh. But it's going to be Gerald coming over the wicket.
Again, taking a relatively quick single that turned out to be very, very easy in the end. Man at cover. Misfielding.
Well, Griff, we know Cornwall is normally a very positive player, and so far he has stick to his the expectations you have of Polo. He's normally always looking to get on top of the bowlers, and so far he has been pretty aggressive in the first few deliveries. So Tariq Charles, a left-handed batsman, he's now going to come on strike. Wayward delivery down the leg side, and that looks like it's going to be 4 wide. So really not a good start from Malik Gerald.
I did say to you, John, that this is going to be easy picking. We should be, what time is it now? It's 2 minutes after 5, so I figure by 5:45.
We're going to have an early
this
day.
one, will be in the bag.
Well, what's something that is very consistent, the opening bowler also from that end, I think it was Javier Christian.
Struggled.
He also had some challenges bowling from that end, and we're seeing the same for Malik.
Every opportunity that I get, John, I have to commend the work of the men from Liberta to have brought this ground to what it is. Because I remember playing football on this grounds and having to go home with lots of cuts on my knees because the ground was actually stony. So really, really impressed with the work that they've been able to do on this ground to bring it to what it is. And again, having a pavilion to boot, extraordinary accomplishment.
Well, yes, I have to agree with you. We could see the work here. I think what would be nice to see is some lights being erected in this part here. But as you could see, you see the nets, you see everything is really half-hearted appeal there as the ball angling into the batsman and probably getting a inside edge onto the pad.
Are we still in the first over, John?
Yes, we're still in the first over.
Seems like this over has been going on for about 10, 15 minutes.
Crave, the first over had for the Blackhawks had 12 deliveries bowled.
Wow.
So I guess Malik is trying to replicate what he would have experienced when he was batting.
Right.
Nice and full and just pushed out into the offside there. So
this must be the end of the over.
Yes, I see the umpire is changing end. So after the end of over number 1, chasing 117-13, the score is 13 without loss. Chasing 118, for victory, 113 without loss. Greif?
Yeah. Pretty eventful over. Like I said, if I was a betting man, I would definitely put my money on the men from Liberta, Blackhawks. It's not a big total on a wicket on a pitch like this. No sideway movement. Bounce as true as it comes. Good wicket for batting, and I would not be surprised that, if the Blackhawks would get to that total in 10 overs.
I thought when you were saying, I thought you were going to say you were going to relish an opportunity if you could bat on a pitch like that.
That was many moons ago, John.
So there's another bowler coming from the pavilion end, and this one is nice and quick and hitting him on the pad, but probably that's Matthew Miller. So young Matthew Miller, generating a little bit of pace there. Cruyff coming in there, skidding on to the batsman, missing it, and the umpire not giving the verdict in the favor.
Well, the umpire had absolutely no interest. He walked away from behind the stumps, so he was very, very confident that was not pitched between wicket and wicket.
And this one here is Polo again, throwing, as we would say in local parlance, throwing lumber. But misfield there by the man in the point region. And so a single to Cornwall. Score goes up to 14 without loss. We're in over number 2.
Again, the Miller making some adjustments to the field. Pretty orthodox field for a left-hander. All right, John, we've seen one ball that actually beat the bat.
Well, I must say, Miller looks like he's generating a little extra yard of pace than the other bowlers we have seen so far. Don't know if he'll be able to sustain it, but let's see. There are 2 men outside of the circle, a man at fine leg and a man at third man. That's driven nicely, and fieldsman there diving over it and going for 4 runs. So lovely shot there by Tariq Charles. I felt the fieldsman could have stopped it or made a little better effort, but it went into the long on boundary.
And the outfield seems to be very, very fast. It's going to be very, very difficult, John, to defend 108, 117 with an outfield being as quick as this one?
Well, I believe Police, they have a bowler there, Cleve Cornelius. He has, from all reports, he has had 3 hat-tricks so far in this Parish League season. And I'm sure he will be licking his chops to get an opportunity to see if he can grab a few more wickets. So it might be sooner rather than later we might see him getting into the attack and try and create some damage for the Blackhawks team.
I would say to you, John, it certainly was not on a wicket a pitch as good as this one. And maybe not with the opponents as good
The caliber
as
of the Liberta Blackhawks.
Yes.
But Cruyff, we still have to give him credit. 3 hat-tricks in one season.
It's a remarkable feat against any opposition.
Yes.
I would say that's a...
So at the end of over number 2, the score is now 19 without loss. Just to remind our viewers that the Blackhawks, they're chasing 118 for victory. Police won the toss and decided to bat. They had a very healthy start, 65, I think, in the power play, and then they wilted away to 117. So looks like a new bowler is coming in here from the Police station end. That looks like, is that Africa? Linton, Africa?
Can't count on me to help you identify these players because...
Yeah, I think that's Linton, Africa, kind of round, bally kind of shape. Yeah, Linton, Africa, yes. So Africa comes in now for the...
He has been around for a while, John.
Yeah. It's down the leg side, and I think that's going to beat the fieldsman. So that looks like more extras again. Police cannot afford to give away these extras. They haven't scored enough runs, and so they're just making it a lot easier for the Blackhawks team to achieve this task.
John, I would hate to sound repetitive. I just said to you that it is almost impossible to defend that kind of runs on a wicket and an outfield that is as quick as this.
Yeah, but Cruyff, you know T20 cricket. You take 1 wicket, 2 wicket, that can immediately change the context of the game. So I'm believing that is what Police is hoping for.
I have to grudgingly agree with you, but again, when you look at the variables at play, I'm suggesting to you that I would be stunned into submission if the Liberta Blackhawks fell short of 117 runs.
Well, it's Africa to Cornwall. And here is Cornwall going for a wild swing across the line. His foot was nowhere near to the pitch of the delivery, just lunging down and swinging across. Oh, lucky escape there, getting a bottom edge. Ball just bunks in over the stump. Nicely hit, but just hit it straight to the man there at a wide mid-wicket region there. And this one is cut hard in front of square into the cover boundary now. 4 runs, so good shot there by Cornwall, getting 4 runs for his team there.
Well, I don't think that you would have a bigger gift at Christmas than that one that was just given to Cornwall. He could have hit it just about anywhere on the square. And he's making it look easy. I don't know that Cornwall has been playing any kind of cricket.
The loud appeal, he's begging, but the umpire is not moved. That was well flighted. Cornwall came down. I'm not certain if he got an edge to it, but it went into the pad, but the umpire was not moved after the loud appeal. And so we've now completed 3 overs in pursuit of 118 for victory. The Blackhawks, they are 29 without loss.
John, and if my math is correct, they're scoring at just about 9 and over. And if you wanted to be generous, 10 and over. 29 without loss from 3. And what is actually needed, John? Your math should be better than mine. 20 overs,
About
just
89,
about
89?
6 and over.
89 or 79. Yeah, just around that. As it's Miller bustling in over the wicket. And it's a big drive there, but the ball looked like it probably just moved a bit off of the seam. And he missed it into the keeper. So
That has to be Miller's line. I mean, because anything short, you definitely can't afford to bowl short. If you're going to err, you should err on the ball being bowled at a fuller length.
well, a slip has been added, so we have 2 slips now. Miller comes in again, it's driven again, this time just a forward of square, and so they get in a single there. So police recognizing that they have to take some wicket, Crive. They added a slip there. They're trying to give themselves an opportunity, see if they can nibble one off of the edge. But Charles was equal to the task there, just caressing that in front of point and getting an easy single.
Well, with a total that small, your best bet is to hope that there is a mini collapse at the front of the innings, and definitely hope that you can hold them someplace in the middle. I mean, it's an uphill task, and the men from Liberta, Black Horse, should feel pretty much in control playing at home.
Oh, there is a Malik General shot a shot there. Polo was trying to hit that, I would say probably to Liberta, to English Harbour.
Yeah.
And the bat flew out of his hand. He made no contact, and so that just resulted into a dot ball.
It actually looked as if he was trying to finish the game
With one shot.
Yes. It has gotten a whole lot cooler, John. It was pretty humid from the start, but
Yeah.
there's a nice breeze blowing across the grounds.
This one is down the leg side and stifle appeal, probably trying to distract the umpire there. But umpire Oliver Benjamin was not so distracted, and he signaled wide there. So
Do you think that since Oliver Benjamin has been umpiring for the Parish League for the past 45 years, he should be retired, John?
Well,
with a big ceremony?
you think Taddy should have a big homegoing ceremony for him?
That has to be in the cards.
Well, you know Taddy's listening, and I know Taddy's a man. This one is short, and he's pulling it. And it goes all the way. Yes, it does. So
That's a good shot.
Cornwall just rocking back and hiking that over the square leg area, and so maximum 6 there. So Cornwall, obviously, as we always said, is in a positive mood. I was thinking at the start of the game when I looked at the Liberta Blackhawks lineup and I did not see Rakeem Cornwall, no Kofi James, no Hayden Walsh. I was saying, wow, police must be licking their chops to say, well, they've avoided the big guns. And, you know, they got off to a flyer.
Seems as if they ran into a brick wall in Cornwall, huh?
A nice comeback there, youngster going in deep there, just bowling a slow delivery, but Cornwall was very watchful and just pushing it back down the wicket. So, ladies and gentlemen, just want to remind you, you're watching the Sir Vivian Richards Thursday League right here on the Antigua Parishleague network. And we're coming to you, want to say good afternoon to our viewers on ABS and all of our different platforms, our Facebook platform and also our YouTube platform. So a single there to end over number 4. So Liberta Blackhawks in pursuit of 118 for victory. They're 38 without loss. So a solid start here thus far by the Liberta Blackhawk team.
Hovering just about at 9 and over, John. The required run rate is was 6?
Around 6, yeah.
So they're very well. I mean, they're poised, and like I said from the beginning, looking at the outfield and the quality of the batting for the Liberta Blackhawks, I could have said to you that it's going to be an uphill battle for the policemen to dismiss.
Another big one, and this clears the fieldsman by quite some distance. So Cornwall not resting. He's going after the bowler, and so another big one. 6 more runs to the score. Score goes up to 44. 44 without loss. We're in over number 5. Something I find strange here, I'm wondering why Africa would be probably bowling in front of Cornelius. Cornelius seems to be their chief wicket taker. I'm not certain if he's not too efficient in the power play time. So, but I think it
that is a difficulty, John, because whether you decide to hide, whether or not you decide to hide Africa, and he's going to bowl, he's going to have to bowl anyway. So I think that the thinking is to try and get Africa in with a couple of overs, hold things together, and wait for Cornelius instead of bowling Cornelius too early, and then having Africa bowl in the depth.
Well, it's not working too well. There was another long hop, as we would say in our local parlance, and that was deposited again, this time back with a square for another 6. So this time now Cornwall showing true batsmanship, just caressing that onto the onside, down to the long on boundary, and just ambling through for a single. So after depositing the last 2 deliveries for 6, just decided now to turn it over to Tariq Charles there. And so the pressure is really on Africa. I think he's the captain for the team, and not really doing too well in terms of leading his team in this defense.
John, I was hoping that I could complete my 10 overs without mentioning that Cornwall is as old as I am, at 60, and he can still come here. All right?
Crab, that is what I want to hear from you now. I want to hear that you have been inspired by a fellow 60-year-old, which will urge you to unretire and make a guest appearance.
That is definitely another life, John.
All right, let's get back to that. It looks like over number 6 is in the bag, and the score is 52. So 52 without loss. 6 overs, 5 overs, 52 without loss. If I'm not mistaken, that was the same score that Police was on after 5 overs also. So it's a very similar sort of scoring trend. And so Police can think, well, wait, if we were there and then we was restricted to 117, we could do likewise. Listen to that cry. I see you smiling.
John, they say that a dream only lasts while you sleep. Liberta is going at 10 runs and over. They have 10 wickets in hand. Are you still holding out hope, John?
And that's lovely. Driven on the up there and just clearing the fieldsman there, running to the wide, long off boundary for 4 more runs. So the runs keep coming. So Matthew Miller looks like he's a bit tiring now. That early venom that he had seems to be slowly withdrawing from him.
John, have you ever heard of a declaration in a 2020?
Fine shot. Good piece of fielding there. That was driven nicely there, but Cornelius in the...
Has there ever been a declaration in 2020?
And
I'm talking about on both sides. I'm not talking about you batting first and declaring your innings because you've got 300. I'm talking about just go ahead and concede when your back is against the wall. I mean,
are you suggesting? Here comes Miller bustling in, and that one he's bowled him. Is he bowled him? Yes, he has. Probably played on. I'm not certain. Yeah, it looks like a bottom edge there. So Miller getting a little reward for his effort. He really tried to bowl hard. He really came in. And so Tariq Charles trying to be just probably a little bit too aggressive there. Ball not really as short as he would have anticipated. And so he was clean bowled there. So the first wicket goes down at 56, so 56 for 1 in pursuit of 118 for victory.
Well, I mean, hope springs alive. I guess that there is some hope, however dim that it is. It is a wicket, and I guess the policemen should feel that they still have, just like you do, John, still have a chance, an outside chance of pulling off what would be nothing short of a miracle.
Well, I won't say this is history, but it's a very phenomenal moment where you have father and son at the crease. We don't often see that in any form of cricket. And so here we have both Wilden Cornwall Senior and Wilden Cornwall Junior. Junior just making his entrance at the wicket.
It's interesting that you should mention that, because cricketers tend to stay around a little longer than in other sports. So, and why is it that we don't see succession in cricket? Because in basketball you have you seem to always have sons and fathers playing at the same time.
Yeah.
But cricket poses a completely different challenge.
Miller into Cornwall, and so Cornwall just being watchful, just taps that into the offside. For the youngster, this must be a real joy, you know, batting with his father, and I'm sure likewise for the father, just being in the wicket with his son, you know, that must be a real...
Should be a proud moment.
Yeah, a real proud moment, good feeling there. Just willing your son on to take his game up to the next level. Going for a drive. Looked like he got a little more of the inside part of the bat. Wasn't certain that was exactly he intended for that ball to go. But it went into the onside, and so he gets off the mark with a single. The score goes up to 57 for 1.
And you cannot say anything less than this being a perfect batting wicket. Because again, he was able to play through the line, got the inner half of the bat, and still the ball stayed on the carpet.
True.
Very, very good sign that the wicket is a solid batting wicket.
So they have 2 men outside the circle, one at long on and one forward is square. This one is on the pad, and the puller is running for his life. Oh, that's a direct hit, but the umpire back was... Well, let me not say that.
Can we see that on the replay? Mark?
We'd have to call for VAR to make a decision. It was... I don't mean to be critical of the umpire, but it was a poor piece of umpiring there. His back was turned when that...
Are you calling for an upgrade, John? On the part of Mark and company to have a replay?
I'm not certain. I can't tell from here if if Cornwall was in, Cornwall Senior, but it was a direct hit, and you know, once there's a direct hit, it becomes very interesting. So we have the completion of over number 6. So the power play is over in pursuit of 118 for victory. The Blackhawks are 58 for 1. 58 for 1. And so I believe we're going to see there's a new bowler coming in now. Who's that going to be? Wow, they're really holding back. Cornelius, wow, this is a strange move. Unless he's injured, he has some difficulty bowling. Strange one. You don't have much runs to play with. Your premier bowler.
It would be a very healthy contrast, John, to contrast what the Liberta Blackhawks has been able to do in the power play as opposed to when the West Indies team plays. They always seem to struggle in the first 6 overs.
So the new bowler coming from the police station end, looks like LaShawn Barnard. He had a good season last year with the police team. I really haven't seen much of the games this year, so I can't really comment. I've just read some of the scores. I know police, they're not doing as well as they're not as consistent, let me say, as they were last year. But Bernard was among the wickets from time to time.
I don't understand why, John, because they hardly work. They should have all the time in the world to practice.
The Antigua Parishleague Network is putting a disclaimer on those comments.
Hey, they say it's the best job in the world to be a police in Antigua.
There's another appeal, but the umpire has no interest in that appeal. She scampers to the side, and then she signals leg by. So another appeal by Barnard. It sounded like bat to me from here, but Barnard was very animated.
Yeah. Very, very optimistic appeal.
I wonder if he was just happy that Cornwall just played down that delivery. On kept a bit low. It was very slow. Kept a bit low, but credit to Wilden Cornwall. He kept senior. Let's always let our viewers know. He kept his eyes on that, and he was able to just tuck that into the onside. Left-handed Wilden Cornwall Jr. And this one is just pitched on about the off stump, and Cornwall just watching it very closely, guiding it into the offside. No run there. This one again going for a big shot, probably getting more of the inner half of the bat, and so getting a single.
I don't know, John. Cornwall Senior is making it look a whole lot easier. And it seems as if the younger Cornwall has not been able to find his footing. You can say that it's just one of those days, but if I came here and I didn't know what was going on, I would be thinking that the senior Cornwall is the one who's playing cricket every day.
Do you think there's any pressure on Wilden Cornwall Jr.
To be batting with his father,
maybe wanting to?
To the contrary, he should be thinking that, hey, Christmas has come in the month of June.
Well, the longer wait, and the wicket taker, he always thinks, one thing with him, he has a lot of confidence. We're talking about Cleve Cornelius. He thinks every delivery he bowls should be a wicket-taking delivery. So he has his hands full here. Coming into Wilden Cornwall Jr. Okay, you hear the talking increasing now. You hear them chanting, "Let's go, Cleve."
The man with the golden arm, huh?
There's a loud appeal. That looks close, and he's giving him. So there you go, Cruyff. I told you, the wicket taker, Cornelius, immediately into the attack. Second delivery, getting the wicket. Wilden Cornwall, junior, going LBW to cleave Cornelius.
Is that how he's gotten all the hat tricks? The people giving away. I mean, that was totally uncalled for. The rule of thumb would suggest that you do not play across the line when the ball is not spinning. That's a rule of thumb. You play as straight as you can. That was just a very, very poor decision. And I mean, you look at the scoreline, and there was absolutely no reason to have attempted that shot. And from my vantage point, he's claiming that there was some bat onto that. From my vantage point, he was plumb in front.
Clive, I wish we had the scorer right next to us, because I would like to do an analysis of both innings. And I think both innings are actually running parallel to some extent, where the teams got off to a good, healthy start. Then if you notice, the scoring rate has dropped just a little bit,
Right.
and also they're now getting wickets. And the same thing happened in the police innings.
Right.
So I'm seeing a sort of similarity with the two innings here thus far. So the police team, they should not feel totally out of it yet. Still some hope behind the horizon.
John, you are dreaming. We have not gotten to the heart of the Bertha batting, so that is very, very optimistic. But it is still a game of glorious uncertainties, and for that, I'm going to advise you to hold on to hope.
Well, the new batsman that just made his way to the crease, that's Amal Nathaniel. And so he would want to stay there with Cornwall and rebuild this innings, taking it. And lovely flight there by Cornelius. And he's now bantering with the batsman. He's trying to get into the batsman's head, want him to play a rash stroke. It'll be interesting to see if Wilden Cornwall Sr. gets down there, how he would approach Cornelius.
Safe shot.
That looks like a safe shot, and that's 4 runs. So nice shot there by Nathaniel. I'm not certain that Cornelius is getting any real spin on that ball, and so Nathaniel was just able to drive that straight down the ground for 4 runs.
Made it look easy. Straight back over the bowler's head. Safe shot.
So we are at the end of over number 8, I think it is, and the score is 66 for 2. Clive, that's about just a little over 8 runs and over. And I'm not certain, scorer, if you could pull up what Police was at that stage of their innings also. I think it would have been similar scoreline.
52 to win, John. 8 wickets in hand. You still...
Remember, Liberta only played with 9 men.
Oh, wow.
So you see what another 2 wicket can do.
Well, I don't know because
to the outlook of this game.
Well, speaking to the curator, he said that they really didn't need 11 people to beat Police. So.
Well, there's a new bowler again coming from the Police ground end. Try and get the name of this bowler. It's still LaShawn. Sorry, my apologies. LaShawn Barnard continuing, and Cornwall was having a wild swing there, going through to the keeper.
So when you read the newspaper tomorrow, John, and you see that Wyndham Cornwall Sr. made 50 at 75 years old, what would be your analysis?
Well, we just have to give him a national award.
Should be knighted.
Knighted immediately. This one is down the leg side, and wow, not signal a wide by the umpire. Probably grazed the pad there. It was a little stifle appeal, so maybe that came from just touching the pad on the way through. And this one is hiked high. Does it have the leg to go over? Yes, it does. So that's a big one there by Nathaniel, opening those broad shoulders there and depositing Barnard out of the ground. So 6 more runs to the score. So good going by the Blackhawks batsmen there. So what will Barnard come back with now? Just being hit for 6. Let's see what he comes with. This one is flatter, and there's an appeal for stumping. Going across the line there was Nathaniel. And umpire Oliver Benjamin just walks up to ensure that the stumps are repaired in the manner that they should. He's not, the keeper has done it, but he's not satisfied. He wants to check it for himself. So he goes up there. Nathaniel just there getting a little bit carried away. I feel there, Clive just hit a 6, so was trying to replicate it again.
He should be thinking that he could be there at the end.
Reaching out to driving that one, but hitting it straight to the man there on the offside. And so a dot ball. In T20 cricket, dot balls are so vital, so important. Not a dot ball again. So good comeback after being hit for that huge 6 there. And so we have completed 9 overs. At the end of 9 overs, the Blackhawks chasing 118 for victory. They are 74 for 2. A solid reply thus far by the Blackhawks team. 75 for 1. Police in at that stage was 65 for 1, so the Blackhawks is just a little bit ahead of them there in terms of runs.
John, I would have lost my first bet, and that was to suggest that the Blackhawks would have overtaken that total at 10 overs. So I guess that, to be fair, you have won the first part of the bet, because they definitely would not be able to overtake the policeman in the next over. Is this the 10th over?
This is the 10th over. Here's Cornelius, and that's one just coming off of the edge. It looks like there. Polo was trapped, and you could see Cornwall wants a bit of Cornelius. Normally you don't see Cornwall pushing for those quick twos, but I believe it's a little personal banter, and he wants to face Cornelius, so they were able to rush through for 2 runs there. Cornelius would have said he won the first part of the battle there, but the war still continues. And Cornwall is hitting, and he's hitting straight down the man throat, and he's caught, and there is the celebration by Cornelius telling him, your time to go. And so I tell you, Clive, the wicket taker, Cleve Cornelius.
Man with the golden arm.
Man with the golden arm. So the 3rd wicket goes down, and so Liberta, in a, I won't say a spot of bother, but they would want to keep an eye on this. They are 76 for 3, and we'll get how much Cornwall would have scored shortly from our scorer. 38. So Cornwall would have contributed 38 to...
So how many wickets are down, John?
3.
3. 72 for 3?
72? 72? 76, so that's another 30, 42 runs needed. And we're in over... Well, overs are not an issue. We're in over number 10 at the moment, so obviously... overs are not really the issue. It's whether police can capture these wickets or the Blackhawks can overhaul the target.
But all in all, John, it was a pretty good effort from Cornwall Senior. And it was a pretty good catch.
It was a pretty
Right
good
at
catch.
the-
It was
right.
it was hit real. It was really hit real hard, but he just picked. If it went, I believe, an inch to the right or left,
Right.
it could have presented some challenge. But
And the
was-
fielder was actually on the boundary. I mean, one step either way, he would have been over the rope.
Rope,
So
yes.
good concentration, knowing where he was, and he effected a pretty good catch.
well, let's see Cornwall. The new batsman in the wicket is Kareem Agor. So. Kareem has been in some good form so far in this season, and just
He's
turning
not,
that.
Kareem Agor is not a West Indies hopeful.
Yes, very much so. Leeward Islands player, Antigua player. He is really.
Consistently Leeward Islands player. And you've got two young people at the wicket, so the running between the wickets should improve.
So Nathaniel is punching this one down the ground for an easy single. And so Cruyff after no ball. Wow, a spinner taking about 3 steps bowling a no ball. That is a cardinal sin. And so we have Cornwall below of us saying he thinks his career is over now. That comeback that he thought of is short-lived, but it was a good innings, Cruyff.
Yeah,
A
very
really good innings
very
there.
good,
And this one is hit nice, handsomely over the top. So Kareem Agor not wasting any time, letting Cleve Cornelius know I have arrived, and stamping his authority right there. So 6 more runs there. Powerful shot there by Kareem Agor.
They must have heard me saying that the game would have been over at 10, so they're trying to make sure it's finished at 11.
Well, behind of us, we have our 2 fellow commentators who are gearing up to bring you the second half of this competition.
Yes,
And,
Don, it was
so,
nice working with you.
Yeah, after this over, we're
I'm
going to
ready to
welcome
demand-
back Colin James and Van Roy Burns, effervescent Van Roy Burns, back into the commentary. But here comes Cornelius trying to get one more wicket.
John,
And
should I go ahead and demand that the check be cut right away, or I've got to wait? I have been waiting. But again, it was nice working with you.
so at the end of 10 overs, in pursuit of 118 for victory, the Blackhawks are 87. So, Cruyff, my maths tell me that's about 31 more runs needed
Yes,
for victory.
yeah.
And so, Cruyff, it was a good time working with you again. And so we're going to turn over to Colin
John,
James.
It was nice working with you, and I will now move over to the organizers to see where that check is, right.
I
Cannot
thought
be in the mail because the mail is definitely not dependable. So.
I was hoping that you were going to go to the
Cash?
the bar association first.
Oh, well, we will definitely speak about that because I will not leave without being paid.
Well, you don't have very far to go, Cruyff. It's just across the gallery, so to speak. A run to Nathaniel. Takes the score up to 88
88
for 3.
for 3.
Vando, I didn't think we'd be back. I thought this game would have been over in 10 overs. Much to the chagrin of our scorer, because she's sporting a dark blue police jersey, and it's blazoned with the police name on it, branded police. So Nathaniel, is it
Yeah, Nathaniel
getting a single, or was it goal?
one single. So that's about 80 how much?
So that will take it up to 85
85
for 3.
for 3.
Yeah. Van Roy, I have to make a correction and an apology before I finish this thing this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
This is played nicely off the toes by Nathaniel, and he gets a second run. And having mentioned Nathaniel's name, it's in respect to some comments I made about him. I erroneously said he was born in Barbados, but he was actually born in Antigua.
Okay.
So I want to thank our producer, Taddy Arundel, for correcting me on that, and apologies to Amal Nathaniel and his family. this delivery. He's playing quietly into the offside and gets a single. Well judged, maybe taking the bottom hand away and just letting the ball die in the offside as the fielders converge. They couldn't prevent the single.
But
Score moves up to 90, I believe. 92 for
so maybe he was
this one is hit down to the wideish long
by
off fielder by Gore
Gore.
single. And the bowler
that is Barnard.
left arm coming from around the wicket, an angular run between the umpire and the stumps, left armer, and this one is hit high down the ground. Someone is going to get on it? No, he missed. Agonizingly came agonizingly close to maybe making a breathtaking catch of that, and that was it straight down the ground, and the fielder coming across to his left on the wideish long on boundary tried to get his hands to it, but the ball slipped through both of them and into the fence. It went for six.
For
Was
six?
it a six?
Yes, it was six. Yeah, it was six. Yeah, yeah, it was six.
Six. I reckon that's the fifth six of the innings by the Liberta team, and they're now up to 100. Or it's 99. Third six, and it's a 99. It's 99 for
99 for three.
So another 18 runs Van Roy saw. Our stint is going to be very short.
Very.
Hope you hadn't made plans to stay here later than 6 o'clock.
I plan to go back home when I finish. So this is how it is. That is
good batting.
That is going to be
by the Liberta batsmen or batters, as the ICC is saying that we should refer to those with the bat in their hands, whether it be male or female, men or women, boy or girl. It should be batters. But traditionally, we know them as batsmen.
This one now.
It's 99. And this is this a new bowler?
Yeah, that is new
bowler. Bowler is Orendell Boston. Right.
Boston? Oh, yeah, Boston, yeah.
Spin bowler coming from around the wicket to go. He's driving this one flat down the ground, and we'll get a single. Brings Jones off the wideish long off boundary. Single.
That's 100.
That brings up the 100. No round of applause from the small sprinkling of spectators we have here. Speaking about spectators and the Liberta team, let's say happy birthday to Kenneth Benjamin.
Okay.
Celebrating his birthday today. Nathaniel swinging this one away. Will it beat the fielder into the fence? No, it doesn't. And they come back for the second one quickly. That it bounced in front of the fielder. Looks to be, was it Cornelius? Then he had to, he actually ran past the ball and then had to struck out his right hand to stop it from going to the boundary. So Kenneth Benjamin is celebrating his birthday today, and he's also named as one of the West Indies red ball coaches.
That's true.
He, along with Stuart Williams, among 2 of 3 assistant coaches to Andrew Coley for the red ball team. And for the white ball team, I'll give you the coaching staff who will assist Darren Sammy. An interesting name is gonna come up. This one is swung away by Nathaniel. He gets a single, and Burns, you're waiting to know who the
white
ball coaches are. Does the name Carl Hooper strikes you?
Carl Hooper?
He's one of the white ball coaches.
And who else?
And Floyd Reefer. They will be assisting Darren Sammy.
I see. Here is
So the ball is played away into the onside by Goy, gets a single, brings up the end of Boston's first over, and the score up to 104 for 3.
104 for 3.
Our scorer, she's not behaving like the proverbial fat lady. She's not going to showing the white towel by any stretch of the imagination.
Where you go?
She's going to hold hope until the end of the game. So the West Indies men white ball team management unit. That's the euphemistic term they use these days. West Indies white ball team management unit. Darren Sammy head coach, Carl Hooper assistant coach, Floyd Reefer assistant coach, James Franklin, the former New Zealand all-rounder assistant coach, Roldo is team manager, Dennis Byam physiotherapist, Ronald Rogers, strength and conditioning coach, Avinash Sitaram, analyst, Dario Bartley, media and content officer, and the West Indies team management unit for test matches. This one is swung away by Goa, 4 runs for him, and this game is ending on a canter in victory for Liberta. They move on now to 108 for 3. So the test team management unit, Andrew Coley, head coach, Kenny Benjamin, assistant coach, Ryan Griffith, assistant coach, Stuart Williams, assistant coach, Wal Lewis, Dennis Byam, Ronald Rogers, Abhinav Sitaram, and Dario Bartley all retained their positions as they were named in the white ball unit. Any comments, Van Roy? Because bar any modern day miracle which only happened on Easter, and we're well past Easter.
I don't know.
This game is going in favor of Liberta. 109 for 3. This one is stayed away by Nathaniel, involuntary so, and a single down to the short third man region.
109 at this way.
Yes, Burns, what's your comments? Any surprises, or is just a bit of the same old, same old?
I can't make any comment at this point in time.
All right, you're going to digest it before you make a comment.
Yeah.
But interestingly, Carl Hooper is back in West Indies cricket. One would have expected that Shivnai Chandapal, having
what happened to Curtly Ambrose?
having come so close to being the white ball coach, would have been in consideration, as you said, Curtly Ambrose.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Cricket West Indies feels that Curtly Ambrose is more suited with the up-and-coming players at the on the 19, on the 15 level. I'm just saying, because he has been doing some work with the academy team. Is this a third one for the Liberta team?
Yeah, the third one, yeah.
So third one for Kareem Agor, as I was chit-chatting about the prospects of the West Indies team coaching staff. Gore getting 3 runs down to long leg, and of the bowling of, is that Africa?
Of Africa, yeah.
Yes, so Africa continues. Right arm spinner, and this one is tucked away by Gore. He will get one easily. Might even get 4 because the fielder coming around to his right in Jones was struggling all the way.
That's it.
Just couldn't get there, and that's the end of it.
117.
That's the end of it. So that's the end of the game. That's the winning shot by Karimugo. 4 runs into the deep back with a square boundary, and that's the end of the game. Liberta winning by 7 wickets with about 6 overs to spare, and winning their first match on their return. Liberta have been out of the Thursday League competition for the last 20 years or so. Whoa. So on their return, they have won this game. They won the first 3 championships between 1981, 82, and 83. They would have gone on to win many more Thursday League championships in the 40-year history of the Parishleague. Thursday League, it actually started in 1982.
82, yeah.
So it's 43 years, celebrating 43 years of Thursday League cricket in Antigua and Barbuda. Still the most popular weekday cricket tournament, not only in Antigua but the Caribbean. So well done by the PIC Liberta Blackhawks, winning this game over the defending champions Police by 7 wickets. 38 from Wilden Cornwall, 12 from Tariq Charles. They put on 56 for the first wicket. Then Wilden Cornwall Senior put on another 6 runs with his son, Wilden Cornwall Jr., who made 2. It was 76 for 3 when Wilden Cornwall Sr. was dismissed. And then from 76 up to 118 for 3, Kareem Agor and Amal Nathaniel taking Liberta to victory. Nathaniel was not out on... Nathaniel
how much?
27, and Gore not on a 23. So 2 wickets for Cornelius, but Liberta getting to 118, is it? 118 for 3 in 14 overs. Van Roy.
Yes, I think Liberta played very good game. Of course, the game was just 117, not much, but I think Liberta played their good things. I think Cornwall, the senior, really had some good shots. He made 38, and of course I think it was by Gore and of Nathaniel who made 37 and 32 respectively, helped the Liberta to go to 118 for 3. But it was a good game as far as Liberty is concerned. But the police team didn't live up to expectation as it stands presently. But in all, it's the first game. Maybe second game or even third game might be something for them to be talk about in the next future.
Well, in the near future, that would be so. A dejected police team coming off the field of play, not really displaying the consistent cricket that they would have been playing over the last 2 or 3 seasons. I don't think Commissioner Rodney will be too happy with what he would have seen or what he would have been hearing on the commentary if he's listening. And no doubt he will ask for some extra work and effort from the police players when they return to the practice sessions. If not tomorrow, sometime next week, because they would have 2 matches this weekend in the Parish League limited overs competition, which is ongoing.
Yeah.
So let's hope the police will be hoping to lick their wounds and come back next week and try again and put in a much better performance. But in the circumstances, I know there is not a man of the match or player of the match award, Van Roy, but I would believe that Avia Christian, with his bowling, which really restricted the police batsmen after they went on a counter, should be among them. But Wilden Cornwall, who began to check, put the brakes on the police scoring, getting Wilden Cornwall. He took he bowled 2 overs for 2 runs, but didn't take a wicket, and then coming back with 38. Gerald made 47, but that was in a losing effort. So my bet would be either Wilden Cornwall Senior or Gerald or Avia Christian.
Or Avia Christian should have been, yeah.
That's for the organizers to decide, and it's only left for us to tell you that police making 117 for 7 of their 20 overs. Gerald 47, the top scorer, 27 from Emmanuel Lawrence, and 12 from Matthew Miller were the batsmen who got into double figures. Wilden Cornwall Jr. got 3 for 10, and Avia Christian also 3 for 10. And Kareem Gore, he didn't take a wicket. I thought he got a wicket. So it was Cornwall Jr. with 3 for 10, and Avia Christian 3 for 10 taking the wicket. So Police, Liberta replying with 118 for 3 or 14 overs. Wilden Cornwall Senior 38, Tyreek Charles 12, Wilden Cornwall Junior 2, and the 2 not out batsmen, Amal Nathaniel on 27, and Kareem Agor
on 37. On 37?
Kareem Agor?
Yeah.
37, and Nathaniel
32.
So Go 37 and Nathaniel 32. That's the end of our coverage for
of course,
this evening. So on behalf of Van White Burns,
Vivian Richards took the league, moved up to 20 overs aside, and of course it was between Liberta and of course Police. It was all won by Liberta. So on behalf of myself, Van White Burns, and you, Colin James, with
Leroy John
Baptist, and of course
Hilary Manuel, and
all the authorities there. We want to wish them best and see you next time around. That's good. That's good.
Yes, right.
Kill the stream, Danny. You have a kill the stream there now. Kill the stream there.